This is the homework quiz for week number 15, and we're looking at question number 2. Question number 1, we had to divide into 3 different videos because each section was pretty long. Here in question number 2, it should not take us that long because we've already done a lot of the work in solving question number 1. Well, what's different between 1 and 2? We have the same scenario. Claudia had found out information about how many different math equations people did on Study Island. We were looking at the 8 pieces of information that she gathered. Here, question number 2, it asks, if the person who did not do the assignment is not counted, how do the measures of central tendency change? So we had 8 different people in class who were included over here. One person had a 0 because they didn't do the assignment. Now, if we take that person away, how does each one of the measures of central tendency change? Mean, median, and mode. That's what we're looking for here. Well, we already added up all of these numbers, including 0 the first time around, and the sum total that we got was 420. Now, that included 0, of course, and if we take away 0 from 420, our total is still 420. Now, if we take 420, though, and divide it by 7, for 7 people, instead of the 8 people that we did the first time around, we're going to have some slightly different numbers. So let's go and do that. 420 divided by 7. 6 times 7 is 42. And we can go ahead and subtract that and bring down another 0 as well. And 7 does not go into 0, so we need to put the 0 next to the 6 so that we know that we have 60 as opposed to just 6. 7 times 60 is 420. So the new mean score is 60. Well, let's see how taking away that 0 affects the median. Here we have the same numbers lined up in a row, except that 0 is taken away. Now we're going to go cross out the smallest number and the largest, next smallest, next largest, next smallest, next largest. What's in the middle is 57. This is easy this time. It's an odd number, and we don't have to find the difference between 2 numbers in the middle. So the median here, this time around, is 57. The mode, we can still keep those same numbers lined up, except 0 is taken out of the picture. Again, 54, 57, 63, 70, 76 all have only one piece of data with them, and 50 is the only number that appears twice. So our mode is still 50. Okay, so now we've done the work so far. Let's compare what the results were between the 2 different trials. The first time we calculated things with the first trial, we had a mean score of 52 and 5/10. The median was 55 and 5/10, and the mode was 50. How does that compare with the second time we calculated things without that 0? Well, the mean is now 60, the median is 57, and the mode is still 50. How did things change? The mean increased by 7.5, 7 and 5/10. The median increased a little bit, 1 and 5/10, and the mode didn't change at all. Now, this is an important piece of knowledge for us. If we take away an outlier means one piece of data which is a lot different than the other ones in the set, then most likely the mode is not going to change because an outlier, by definition, is one piece of information that is a lot different than everything else. So there's usually not going to be 2 pieces of information that are exactly like each other that are outliers. It's possible, but it's not common. For the median, it may change a little bit, as it did here, but usually changes big numbers, either really small numbers or big numbers. When you calculate things in terms of a median, those differences are lost because the big or small number gets stuck on one end or the other of the median, and it doesn't really count in the middle. Now, what does change over here is the mean, because the mean, that number 0 in this case, is included with the number, with our added up numbers, and then we're dividing by the total number. So that does change things quite a bit, and we can see that difference right over here, where the mean changes quite a bit, the median not so much, and the mode not at all. So these are pretty typical results when you're changing things, adding or taking away an outlier in a piece of data. Go ahead and try problem number 2 in the practice section for the homework quiz for week number 15.